Could you talk to me a little bit about your thinking and the thinking of the Dallas County Voters League as it relates to pushing black candidates right after the passage of the Voting Rights Act?
Well, we looked at, first of all, the number of blacks that were registered and the potential for registration and the kind of cooperation that we thought that we could engender at any particular point in order to be successful, regardless of whether or not you're black or white at a point. But knowing the number that we had the potential for registration and the number that had been registered, then the question always came, do you think it would be in the best interest of the black community and the community at large to push now, for this black or what white that you think that could be acceptable to a degree, other than a black person. So we had to make a choice, and you had several whites out there, and we're looking at how they had performed in the past, and you made a decision. Now, it would mean then that when you make a decision, if it wasn't black, then you had to engender the kind of misunderstanding other blacks had about that decision, you see. But when you know that you have made a decision that's in the best interest, in the final analysis, even the black community, although it might not be a black person, because even at some point when we supported blacks, they didn't win, you understand. But at that point, we did engender the kind of enthusiasm for support of blacks, you see. And of course, to get that from the beginning, and then our registration was a little better in a sense on down the line than it was when we first started.
Why was that? Why do you think that was?
The registration?
Right. Why? It seems to me that there may have been a perception, at least on the part of the SCLC, that once the Voting Rights Act was passed, black people would rush to the vote to polls en masse. Now that might be my misinterpretation. Do you think that there was that type of perception that black people were going to bust down the doors and register to vote once the barriers had been lowered?
Well, I think that removing the kind of obstructions that had existed prior to that time, then you would expect that more blacks would feel freer to move and to actually go down and at least try to cast a ballot or to register to vote. However, that was not true in all cases, because some people still had that idea that voting was something that, and they had this white mentality too, that the white man does not want you to be involved that time, you see.